Hello and welcome to the show. We start this week's Failrace episode with Super Fed Hay on Forza Horizon 4, racing the mad sandrail, trying to take a shortcut. Instead, well, it's kind of a shortcut. There's a lot of airtime. An impressive double backflip nevertheless, and did technically get up the ledge that they were aiming for, just about. TR King Hopper on Horizon 4, racing in a team adventure. Watch for the sudden flying Viper. I presume ran wide, missed the bridge, and ended up picking itself out the other side. An impressive amount of height. Just the fact that there is suddenly a car in the sky is, you know, pretty well done. Volvo Emperor on GTA 5 has got the boopy gun. It is by far and away one of the most entertaining weapons. Silly, but very, very entertaining. The thing you've got to be careful of is booping cars and end up having them going towards you. This time getting very lucky. You won't be as lucky as that next time. The fire hydrant practically, well, did save him from that one. Yeah, boopy gun is very good fun. Does have some quite dangerous consequences. Toy GT1 on GTA 5 is driving around, crashing through a little bit of a pedestrian area when managing to freak out the AI sets off an unusual chain of events. Yes, these folks were getting off of the bus as the Huntley came crashing through, freaked out the AIs, most of them ran away. One of them decided the best way to deal with said car crashing through the scenery near him was to try and steal the bus that he was just getting off. Now, admittedly, the player does make matters a little bit more difficult for the bus by parking in front of it. However, the AIs are now stuck in a loop of constantly bus jacking each other. I'm not quite sure. I'm not 100% sure on this one. It's quite funny. I mean, I've seen AIs freak out and do strange things, but this is a rather unusual turn of events, and of course no one can move the bus far enough to get out of the way of the bus jacking, so it's just going to go on, and the clip just keeps going forever. For as far as we know, they might still be doing it today if the Huntley was parked there. Mr. Lane on BeamNG Drive is playing around with, well, some car chases, not exactly with a conventional vehicle for chasing, but never mind. Goes for the sort of pit maneuver, goes for a bit of a squash against the wall. Turns out, though, the estate car is more than a match for the big, heavily armoured, in fact, off-roader. Yes, the Failrace Police Department still needs a little bit of work, it would seem. I mean, something's rolled, just not the car that was, you know, supposed to have rolled. Speaking of rolls, Granny on Beam as well. Now, we have seen many clips in this series when racing on Dirt 4, Dirt Rally and so on, where you clip a rock, you go for a big old roll, land on the wheels and miraculously can carry on. It's not quite the case when it comes to Beam. No, if things go wrong here, this is a little clip on the curve, goes for a massive double barrel roll, lands it perfectly on the wheels, but it's not really drivable here. It was an impressive, a great roll, a great landing. However, the drive shaft does not want to play ball anymore. Roshake on Beam with a custom automation vehicle, testing it out, goes for a big old jump. You can see it's not going particularly well. What's more impressive is the severity of the flips that go on with that one. Like, I was expecting the front flip, I was expecting the tumble, but no, it just kind of insta-stopped, and all that momentum has gone into making the car front flip. It's a lot of flips. It's a very broken car with an awful lot of flips. The Maldonado is up next on R Factor 2, racing some more classic Formula 1 cars at Monza. This was attempt 1 at the start when, well, things did not go particularly. It's quite a Maldonado-esque start, really. A little too late on the bro. Actually, a big lock-up trying to get slowed down. Can't quite get it done and ends up phasing through a car. In fact, the car actually phases through a car and that car gets spun around on top of him, which is peculiar. Okay, that one. Start, not quite work, so we'll go for a restart. Try again. Fairly similar, maybe not quite as good a start for the car we ride on board with a little bit of wheel spin. This time it is straight to the inside, so don't make the same mistake that went on last time. Don't brake too late. No, instead, this time the AI car turns into the back of the player and everything goes a lot worse. I think the first start was better. I mean, there was a little bit of phasing through and so on, but that one, I like the rolly over car, that's quite impressive, but there we go. Boy Slash up next on Just Cause 3, driving one fairly heavily armoured vehicle, the army, whatever authorities are giving chase. It turns out if you squish an authority jeep up against the crash barrier, it might just explode. The thing is, the explosion has some bad consequences for your heavily armoured vehicle. Yes, in Just Cause land, when something explodes next to you, your vehicle tends to go soaring into many, many distances and many speeds. Almost manages to land it on the little island, but ends up in the drink regardless. And on to Just Cause 4 with Visible AK trying to jump across a bridge. Well, the bridge is having none of it. Yep, that's the trailer. The trailer has been eaten by the bridge, and then we're just going to body slam the truck. The truck pings back onto its wheels before the trailer explodes. Camera's got a little bit, well, weird. The bridge has collapsed, and Rico bails out with a parachute. Bridge versus truck. I think it is safe to say. I mean, the bridge has taken a battering, but I think the bridge won. And finally, Dilly on iRacing. Racing these street stocks around the Charlotte Oval. Things have gone wrong up ahead. It's a panic and try and guess which way the cars are going to go. In the end, player has guessed wrong here, but that's not the most impressive thing, though. Watch in the distance as a car gets absolutely eviscerated by a knockup. That is a full-on ramp car style takeout. That is some serious, serious height. From on board the player car, not quite so easy to see what happens. So spin up ahead, the red and white car tries to get down to avoid it, can't, ends up across the grass, tries to gather it all back up, not quite, in the end is pointing backwards. Now a little bit of lag pings it back just at the wrong time, and the black car just scoops it. As it comes down, it very, very nearly lands on the roof of the white car. I don't know what caused the scoop. I mean, I've seen some big crashes on iRacing. I've been involved in some of them myself. Never quite that distance. Never quite that height from what is a fairly small clip. But yeah, the lag doesn't help, I guess, because it's just re-putting the car somewhere. The black car doesn't really know where to go. But yeah, the black car's barely affected. It does hit the wall, but still, as it comes back down, it crashes. I don't know. It's very difficult to tell if it touches the white car or whether it gets away with it. It's a minor crash if it is. Considering the distance and so on, to say that's a minor crash is quite unusual. That's some serious height. That is some serious height right there. But that is going to be it for this week's episode. As ever, if you have clips you'd like to submit to this series, you can via our forums. There'll be a link in the description of this video. At the very top of the page is the Failrace clip submission section, and there you can find all of the rules and how to submit them. However, that is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, a goodbye.